Once upon a time, two singles met online and started a podcast, the Computer Love Podcast. Let's go. We back.
What's up? 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 What is up? I am Jay Reed, and as always, I'm accompanied by my beautiful co-host, none other than Shaquetta Shantae.
Hey, y'all.
And we are back for another episode of the Computer Love Podcast, episode 23. 2-3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 3. We're going to get into some church announcements.
All right. Hey, guys, back with some church announcements. And as always, definitely have to start out with Thanksgiving. Thanking you all for continuing to tune in, continuing to watch, like, comment, all of the above. And we are definitely in the season of Thanksgiving. So definitely want to thank you for chiming in, tuning in. And as always, we would like your feedback. If you have any particular questions, topics that you would like us to discuss, definitely let us know. We would like to incorporate it into different episodes. And let's not forget, if you would like to join the show, if you met online, if you have a computer love connection, a success story to share, we would still love to have you on the show. So that is pretty much I do have another announcement that I will make. There is a wife conference that will be coming up January 29th, 2022. Ladies, if you are engaged, if you are married, or if you are seriously dating, I would definitely suggest that you join this conference. It is in Summerville, South Carolina, and it is a host of panelists that will be there discussing different things about marital to prevent divorce and affairs. So if you are in the area, please, definitely, I'm telling you, do not want to miss this. Cheryl Ravenel, she's from the Charleston area, currently resides in the Charleston area. She is putting on this event, and she has asked me to be the event host. So I will be hosting this event. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to live, laugh, love, and I'm definitely going to share lessons that I have learned, and I look forward to being a student. I look forward to learning from the different women that will be represented and what they have to share. Wisdom is something that we all can take and we all can utilize and we all need. And I am definitely here for the journey. Hope you are too. Definitely, I will be posting it to my Instagram page so you can get the link to actually follow or go follow. Yes, you can definitely follow the lives and messages that will be happening, but so you can also get the early bird special tickets as well. That are
Cool.
my announcements.
Motivate them now, babe. What you got?
My motivational moment. So this one is back to, you will hear me talking a lot about waiting. And when you're in your waiting season, no matter what it is that you're waiting on, it can be uncomfortable. And sometimes when you're in that waiting season, you can also feel as if you've been forgotten. And I definitely just want to encourage you that sometimes when you're waiting, and it feels like you've been forgotten, and it's like it's happening for everybody else, but when is it going to happen for me? Just be reminded that sometimes that delay and sometimes that wait is protection. It feels like rejection and it feels like it's not going to happen for you, but it's also protecting you. So and when I say protecting, that's protecting your peace, protecting your purpose, protecting things that you like value. So just make sure that you do not focus so much on the waiting, but also focus on like that process and the protection and the journey within it, the growth that is within it. So that is the biggest thing that I want to motivate you on, because waiting isn't easy. And I know that whatever you're waiting on, if it's for a job to call, if it's for a child, there are a lot of people that are waiting for a child. Maybe they had a child at a young age and now they're married and they want to have children with their spouse, and it's been hard to either conceive or to carry full term. So that is a waiting season. If you're single and you're waiting for marriage, or if you waiting to go back to school, whatever your wait is, there are so many different types of things and reasons why we're in our waiting season for different types of things. But just don't give up. Don't give up, and just try to look at what's happening in that waiting season and how you can prepare while you're in your waiting season so you can fully enjoy and be ready to take on when God does deliver what it is that you've been waiting on. And sometimes he's just waiting on us. So that's all I have.
I love it, babe. Good stuff. You ready to go into the chat room?
And
Chat.
what was the chat room question? Oh,
Let me know.
okay. Does social media cause more hurt or help to your relationship and or marriage?
I would have to say that social media probably causes more hurt than anything. I don't know really how it could be good how social media could be good for a relationship. I mean, unless you're talking about the ability to communicate with your partner, but you do that in person by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, I would have to say that I don't really see the benefit of social media to a relationship. Now, social media has a lot of benefits in general, but to the relationship, no, I would have to say it probably would hurt it more than anything. I mean, it's filled with temptation and things like that. But even if that's not a factor, it still doesn't really provide anything positive towards a relationship. I don't think. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, tell me what positive things it does provide for a relationship. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So I definitely think that it depends on how you're using social media. Just like anything else, it depends on how you're using the tool. And so it can definitely be harmful and can definitely hurt your relationship depending on how you are utilizing it. What do I mean by that? Men and women, are you utilizing social media and you are idolizing other people's marriage, relationship, and you're wanting those things from your spouse, from your partner, and you do not know the behind scenes. You do not see what that couple is doing on a daily basis. You just see what they are posting and you want that same thing. Or if it's physical attributes, you see what the models are posting, or the fitness competitors are posting, and you have this image in your mind that is what your partner should look like, that is what your spouse should look like. That can definitely harm the relationship. No, the words may not be said like, oh babe, I'm looking at this Instagram model today and like she looking real good. No, that's not going to hurt your relationship because that's not what you're saying. But when you see your spouse and then now you are remembering the photo that you saw online and how this person looked and what they did, then the magnitude of how you appreciate your man or your woman is now decreased because you have this image that what she should look like, or you want to start telling him or her, well, babe, have you thought about this? Maybe you should do this because it's something that you saw. So that can definitely be harmful. And you want to be careful when you're doing things like that because it can damage your relationship. So social media, like anything, should be used in moderation and should be used for things that can benefit your relationship, your business, your service, your product, whatever it is. So how can it help your relationship? There are tons of podcasts. There are tons of influencers, social media influencers, content creators that are creating content for married couples on how to maintain your relationship, how to have effective communication, how to talk about the hard topics, how to date even when you've been married 10 years. So there is definitely content that is shared on social media that can help your marriage. So it just depends on how you're using it and how often you're using it and what you're using it for.
So would it be more harmful or more helpful?
It depends on how you're using it. For me, it would be more helpful. But if you're a person...
For our relationship, social media would be more helpful for our relationship?
For me and our relationship. How? I just said, like, for instance, the different types of content, like the social media. I'm a part of a conference that's going to be happening in January, and they're going live constantly talking about the content that's going to be shared, how to, weather certain storms, how to not give up during certain moments of trials and tribulations.
Right, but I don't think that has anything to do with social media, though. Yeah,
it is. It's how you're using social media. Social media is how you're using it. It's posting. It's looking at posts.
Right, I know it's how you use it, but how would using social media in any way benefit our relationship? Like, how does that benefit our relationship?
I just told you.
Well, I don't understand.
Yeah, so what I'm saying is the content that you're consuming.
But how is that? So how is the content you're consuming?
Because when you come at me sideways, and you often do, I mean, it's just relationships. We do. So there's a way that in the past, I probably would come at you the same way. The same energy, that's given is what I'm going to give. But if I am actually like following and looking at different content where these women are like, ladies, yeah, we know. It's almost like a club, like a society. Like we're saying, like, yeah, mine get on my nerves too. But what we're learning to do is, hey, you have the power to or, when you feel like cursing him out.
Using social media as like a support group to learn.
Yeah, so it's just like it can be a group if you're a part of a group, because there are like clubs, different things on social media that you can be a member of, Clubhouse, like different things like that. But also just literally the content that you are consuming. If people are constantly going live, constantly, watching what this person is talking about as it relates to relationships, as it relates to marriage, and just saying, let's walk through the process of being engaged, being married, going through different areas in your marriage, the honeymoon stage, all of those things. I have actually heard women, men, people in general that say, like, when social media wasn't a thing, there wasn't a manual to it. So it's not like there's a manual now, but that you do have more access to content, to people sharing their stories, sharing how they successfully stay married and enjoy being married, and not just thinking you're the only person that's going through this within your marriage, or you don't, because a lot of things we're taught that what happens in your house stays in your house. You don't share those things with anybody else. So now that you have a platform, a social media platform where people are sharing what happened with, if it was a former marriage or if it was a former relationship or things that they're currently going through, like married couples sharing those experiences. Yeah, on social media, people are benefiting from it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that there is that, but I think most people, when they think of social media, they're just thinking of they're posting pictures or posting family pics or looking at pictures or posting a quote or something like that. Just basically just consuming content, or like you said, you comparing yourself to other people. But
it just depends on the content that you're consuming. So that's why it can help or hurt. If you're consuming content of people posting healthy marriages and posting, content that's literally speaking to you, then yes, it would help. That's why social media influencers are so major right now, because it's influencing marriages. It's influencing relationships. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, it depends on who you're following.
I think anybody is an influencer. I mean, you can be influenced by anybody. You can be influenced by the person with 5 followers if he's living a life that you think you want.
True. But they're not like a paid social media influencer. I'm talking about the people that has like, the 159,000 followers. It's, they are coined and termed, their position, their job role in social media is considered a content creator or a social media influencer.
No, what I'm saying is, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that they may influence some people, but anybody can be influenced by just anyone, just anybody that is influential to you, I guess, or that you want to model.
Definitely.
I know, like back in the day, really all you had was the options of the females who lived around you. Like, if she lived in your neighborhood, or that's who who it was. And even before that, it was even slimmer, so, you would marry your high school sweetheart and things like that, because you don't have access to, really nowadays you have access to your entire city, first of all, but you have access to the entire world, really. I mean, it's the whole world is an option for you, and it's just too much. It's just humans can't really comprehend that. It's just too much. It's just too many options. So
for sure.
I mean, and people give that term settling such a negative term, but when you have all these options, you're going to have to settle for one. It's not a bad thing. It's you're picking the one out of all these, but you're gonna have to just stop and settle down. I mean, that's just the bottom line.
The bottom line.
Now, looking at Instagram models, I understand what you're saying with that, but I don't know. I guess that could be like, a man likes what he likes, regardless of if he sees it on Instagram or not. If he sees it on Instagram, it's just, I guess, cementing or already what he already likes. It's not that he goes and looks at his wife. I mean, if she was overweight, he would probably want her to lose weight, regardless if he was looking at Instagram or not. So it's not. I'm not going to say Instagram is the cause, or I'm not going to. For me, it's almost like a cop out saying, well, it's because of Instagram. No, it's because I'm not attracted to what I see.
I mean, and that's, again, how you're consuming it. So, like you said, if it's something that you're not attracted to, then why are you with that person? Or if you don't like something about them, then there's ways that you communicate it. But the thing about it is, can it do more hurt or harm? And that's just saying ways that it can definitely harm your relationship.
Oh, yeah, I
now,
agree.
to say that people don't like go and drool over these things and see different things and actually have in their mind, that's just, I mean, I'm not even going to get into that, but there are people that have been addicted to porn and have really,
porn,
I'm just saying that I say word like past tense because they've come to the forefront and say how it damaged their relationship.
Yeah.
So, and how they had to break free from that in order for their relationship to work. If their spouse knew they were watching it or not, but they brought it from what they saw on their phone and the magazine or however they were consuming that content, and they brought it into their house. So it absolutely happens.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, it definitely is. It's impossible for it not to have some type of mental effect on you. Yeah. If you're just seeing constantly just beautiful women, just nothing but ass pictures all day long, like you couldn't see that. But when you were a kid, you had to like go sneak your dad's magazine or something. Yeah. Now it's just in your face, even if you don't want it to be in your face. So it's got to have some type of effect. So yeah, that's definitely a negative. I agree with you 100% on that, babe.
All right.
Let's move on to the topic of the day.
Topic of the day.
How do you heal from an emotional injury?
How do you heal from an emotional injury? Well, I will say time. Honestly, time. When you're going through something that is difficult, it feels like you really can't see past this issue that you're living through. I mean, because this is your whole world. That this is your bubble. You know, there's a world outside of it, but for you, this is your entire world right here. And when you're going through, you can't see the life outside of this bubble. Right. So, time is what it takes to get you there. So many people do things like they'll commit crimes or commit suicide or just decisions that impact you long term, but you're just making it off of this temporary impulse that you have because she broke your heart or he broke your heart or you caught him cheating or whatever the issue is. But it's gonna hurt. But I think time heals all. Now during that time, obviously it's good to. I'll let you say counseling because I know that's where you're gonna go. So I'm gonna let you talk about that. I think that having a friend, someone who you can talk to, is hugely important. Whether it's a counselor or whether it's your mom, your pastor, or just a friend. I think that is hugely important. I've been through stuff in my life, and having a friend to talk to have a beer with, to just over and because these things are going through your head over and over and over again. So you want to have someone that your friends probably get tired of you talking to them because you're saying the same things over and over again. But the fact that, if they're a good friend, like my friend was, they'll listen to you over and over again. Right. And that's huge. And I know you're the type of person who probably is the friend that people call and you hear the same things over and over. So you've probably been a huge impact for a lot of people because I'm sure you are aware, but for those who aren't, being able to or doing that for someone is huge.
Yeah, for sure.
It is huge. So I would say that getting through the emotional trauma is going to require time and someone to talk to.
Agreed. I think
sometimes medication, but ultimately time and someone to talk to.
Yeah, for sure. And definitely, like I said, friends are really important. People that that will just listen to you. People that will hear you, and then sometimes people that will hear your silence, that you don't have to say anything, that they're just there to be there and to provide love and emotional support. So when talking about healing an emotional injury, that is more difficult than healing a physical injury. Physical injuries, like if you fell and you scrape your knee, you got a little cut, you put some Neosporin on it.
What if you
Band-Aid?
What if you broke your spine?
Well, we're talking a minor injury right here for the sake of this. So the thing about emotional injuries and physical injuries, they're even if that you go and you have a surgery done and they will tell you the expecting healing time. They will tell you your recovery may be 3 to 6 weeks to stay off your feet. Just if it's an ankle injury or whatever it is, they tell you and expect that from the beginning, once you've been assessed, once you've been to the doctor, had x-rays done on this physical injury, if it's a spinal injury, whatever it is, they can kind of tell you can expect this within this amount of time. You cannot get that with an emotional injury. So it is, as I, first was stating, that it is a emotional injury is harder to heal. Because regardless if you go to a therapist, if you go to a friend, no one can tell you what to expect within the next 4 to 6 weeks,
Right.
what to expect within the next 8 months. No one can tell you that because every individual is different. They can listen to you. They can provide you with different techniques, tools, and strategies. They can give you their advice. They can give you opinions. But the first thing that you have to do to heal an emotional injury is acknowledge that there is an emotional injury. And a lot of times you cannot heal an emotional injury because you don't want to acknowledge and accept that somebody hurt you. A lot of people don't want to do that because, at least to that person that hurt you, you don't want them to feel like they won, like they got one up on you. So now you walk around that they won, whoever hurt you. The reason why people cannot heal an emotional injury because they have not acknowledged.
They don't want to acknowledge it. If they acknowledge it, then they know that the person won. Gotcha.
Right. Because sometimes an emotional injury, you're looking for the person that caused the injury.
You want to act like, oh, you ain't hurt me, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So sometimes you want the person that caused the emotional injury to heal the injury. And a lot of times that does not happen because a lot of times if they knew that it caused the injury to you, then they wouldn't do it. And 2, even if they knew it was an injury and they chose to still do it, then that means they will not aid you in assisting to heal that injury. And sometimes, in some cases, they will. And how does that happen? How do you heal that injury? Through time and change behavior. If somebody keeps doing the same thing and it keeps hitting that same wound in your heart and your chest, then it's never going to heal because you're hitting the same place over and over again. So time, yes, definitely can heal, but time won't heal if you are
keep reopening the wound,
constantly opening it or constantly hitting it. So it has to be changed behavior. It has to be time, giving yourself time, giving the other person time. If it's a friend, if it's a colleague, if it's a family member or whatever it is that caused the injury, acknowledging that an injury does exist, and then literally just putting one foot in front of the other, even if it drags. And that can be the hardest thing to do sometimes when there is an emotional injury.
That was a bar right there.
What?
Say that. Put one foot in front of the other, even if it drags.
Absolutely.
That's a bar. My baby dropping bars over here. Huh?
I'm just saying, emotional injuries are.
Yeah, that was
serious.
A weak ass air horn though. All right. I do like the analogy not an analogy, but you said that emotional wounds heal. They're harder to heal than physical wounds. I agree. I think of the like with a physical wound, sometimes you can even be healed back stronger than you were before you got injured. They might put some screws or something to make you, or put a robotic arm, and now you're even stronger. However, with emotional wounds, it's kind of like the analogy of the mirror, where you can break the mirror and you can put it back together, but it's never gonna. The reflection is never gonna be the same. And sometimes emotional scars or emotional wounds may never fully heal.
Absolutely.
So I totally agree with.
And that's why it's really important. I can pride myself on this because literally I pride myself on valuing relationships. And I mean like friendships. Like, I have friends literally since pre-K. Like, I believe in friendships. I believe in relationships. I believe in showing up for people. I believe in being there for people. And we talked about this on the last episode. I believe it's like showing up in whatever capacity that you can. And I believe that each one of us have a capacity, a way that we can show up for our friends, for our family members. And when you're talking about emotional scars, emotional injuries, sometimes you cause emotional scars and emotional injuries for people and on people that you love. And it's so important that, one, we have to literally, in friendships, in relationships, you have to step outside of self and really stop to think sometimes, most times, if it's an argument, like, if I say this can damage our relationship forever. Mm-hmm. This can damage our friendship forever. Mm-hmm. If my friend is coming to me and telling me something and I immediately listen to what she says, but I use it against her, mm-hmm. she may never feel the safety to come to me again to tell me anything of that magnitude.
Of course not.
So, but maybe I didn't think of it like that.
Right.
I probably just thought, well, I was giving my friend a real, because that's what friends are supposed to do. I'm supposed to be real with her. Mm. So she should already know what to expect from me, because that's just who I am. Like, nobody wants a friend that's just going to tell you what you want to hear. So it's friendships, relationships are very delicate. And it should be treated as such. You should never come into it thinking like, well, I mean, I said what I said, and that's just what it is. Take it or leave it. That's the type of friend that I am. And if you are that person, if you wonder why your friendships never end, or why are never last, or why your relationships never last, because I'm who I am and this is who I am and it's not changing. That's why. Right. So like, literally, you have to really think about like, what type of friend am I? What type of person am I? How am I, to people? Do people feel safe telling me things? Do they feel like I'm going to listen? I'm going to be honest, but how am I being honest? Mm-hmm. I can be honest with you and be very loving. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, friend, I love you. You know that. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love you. Mm-hmm. But you are wrong. Mm-hmm. You are wrong. Mm-hmm. And I think that you should revisit the conversation. Mm-hmm. I think that you should call the person. I think give it a couple days. Mm-hmm. Because you might not want to call them today. This is the whole scenario. I'm just like thinking ways that you can tell your friend you're wrong, but still be a friend. Mm-hmm. You don't have to be honest. You don't have to be rude. To be honest, you don't have to be.
Sometimes what happens if you have to tell somebody information that they're not going to want to hear? Like, no matter how you have to say it, they're not gonna like it, but somebody needs to tell them. How do you do that?
Just I said, now, baby, you probably don't want to hear this. Mm-hmm. But are you in a space that you can hear me? Because again, you feeling like, oh, they need to hear this. Yeah. You don't know what has transpired in their day, and 5 minutes ago, in the midst of the conversation. Mm-hmm. So it's not about, they need to hear it. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Agreed. But are they in a place that they can receive it? Mm-hmm. And I'm good, fast, and a friend. You good for me to say what I need to say right now? We can revisit this later. Yeah. I mean, I get it. You feeling, you might be a little emotional about it. So call me tomorrow. We can discuss it. Most times friends will be like, no, like, go ahead, tell me. Cause now you've already, and you've already, but you put them at ease. Mm. And it's not like telling them that I'm about to tell you something that you don't want to hear. But it's saying, again, you're making them feel loved because you're asking them, you're respecting them enough to say, are you okay? Mm-hmm. Are you in a good place for me to share this with you? Yeah. I was listening to what you told me that happened. Mm-hmm. And now, friend, I feel as if you said some things that may have hurt his feelings as well. Mm-hmm. Or I can understand where you're coming from. And I might start off like that. I can understand where you're coming from, friend. She was wrong. Yeah. She was wrong for saying that. And so now they're like, okay, she's on my side. Yeah. Or whatever. Or she agrees with me on this particular thing. And then the next thing I would say was,
but like you're trying to tell them like something that they do that they like say her husband said, she always doing this, and you agree she is always doing this.
Yeah.
How do you tell that person you're always doing this if they not going to hear that?
So it's always about how you're doing it. You cannot try to tell somebody they're always doing something and say, because one, the person may already know in their mind how they're doing something, how it's being received, or what it looks like. It's two different things. So again, you should say, if it's the man coming to the wife saying, you're always doing this, babe, you know, it feels like you are always doing this. And can I tell you how? Sure. Give me some examples. Because a lot of times I think even in that, I don't have to tell you. I don't have to give you no examples. No.
I think definitely this is probably something that's harder for men. I mean, because in general, we are blunt with each other, you know. Like you get guys in a room, we're gonna talk shit and we're gonna try to hurt feelings, you know. Like for me personally, I can fit in a crowd like of shit talkers, you know, because I have thick skin. You're not gonna say anything that's gonna hurt my feelings, and I can take it. We can laugh and I can joke and I can, but there is a place where that can go too far, and I will admit that definitely in my past, you know, I would throw jokes with the best of them, you know, and sometimes take it too far. So
I agree, and I think that what men don't understand,
and women aren't usually down with that.
But I think what men sometimes don't understand, and this is me, because I know I have a lethal tongue. I can make you feel like that you can touch the sky. I'll make you feel like you can jump right now, and I believe in you. I will talk confidence in you. I will talk, you know, just whatever it is. But I also know that if you push me, I will tell you something and you will probably go home and feel like the smallest boy ever on planet that existed. So the reality is we both, like men and women, can do it. But I choose not to a lot of the times. I've always said I can hold my tongue, but my facial expressions will tell it all. But I've learned, because I know the power in the tongue. And so I know if I say something to somebody, like if you tick me off, I can think in my mind 100 things that I want to say to you that will probably will cut deep.
Right.
But I'm choosing, like, if I want this relationship to work, do I want to hurt you like that? Do I want to hurt you in a way that you can't come back from?
Yeah. No, I like for me, it's like I guess in the example that I just used, like the way you would talk to, like, say you left, I don't know, like say you left the window open or something, like, you know, and I'll just be honest, like my instinct would be to say like some smart ass comment, like, you know, you're trying to cool the whole outside or some shit like that, right?
Yeah.
But no, you say yeah, but you would not appreciate that if I said that.
I mean, I think that's a simple one or whatever. So
but those are like the types of like I don't know, like, so you say you have to say this. I'm just totally hypothetical. I'm just totally making this up. But
right.
Say like you used too much toothpaste. Like we just bought the toothpaste and it's like halfway gone. I'm like, say something like, how many damn teeth you got? Like,
right. No, like, I get it. I agree, because those small things can really cause.
Yeah, exactly. Like, but for me, it's funny. Like if somebody said that to me, I would laugh.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's funny. But no, your woman typically, unless you know she's cool like that, she's not.
Yeah, I think that most times for a woman, it's when you're saying something that is more of like her character or personality, not things around the house, like, oh, you know, little things like that. Then it's like, whatever. You probably be like, roll your eyes at them and do
I told
it.
you that you stacked the dishwasher like a 3-year-old. You did not like that at all.
Yeah, and you did say that, because
Look,
you know what?
First, so I later understood, like, you didn't grow up using a dishwasher.
Never. I hand wash.
Later I understood, but if y'all saw the way this dishwasher was stacked, it was just chaos. Nothing would have got washed in that damn thing.
It really was not that bad.
Now she does good, and I was like, okay, she got the thing organized.
Well, because like I told him,
my go-to was like, it was like my go-to was to say it looked like a 3-year-old stacked this thing.
Yeah, and I would be like,
to me that's funny. Like if somebody said that to me, I would laugh. I was like, that was a good one.
Right, and
you didn't really appreciate it.
Because if I really want to know what I was thinking, nigga, come load it yourself. And I probably said something like, you want to load it?
Probably
or
did.
help me. It is no telling. But so no, definitely agreed.
You definitely didn't just let it slide. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure I did not, for sure. That I ain't even the type. Like, so.
See, I would have, if you would have laughed like, that was a good one, I'd have been like, oh, damn, my baby cool as hell. She took it like a champ.
Yeah, and I would
But
be
no,
like.
that's not what happened.
No, because my mind went to, nigga, do you want me to give you the list of things that you don't do in here? I mean, literally, that's exactly why I went. I was like, every, like, wiping up stuff every single morning. Like, that's what my mind went at. And I'm like, you talking about loading the dishwasher, what I literally rarely use. And that's only if it's like
You use it now.
a rush trying to get out somewhere. Yeah, because I'm in a rush to get somewhere and there's more dishes being utilized because you use like 1,000 dishes.
Because I cook.
And then when you cook, even when I'm not here, and then
I
when
do.
I come here, it's like the dishes waiting on me. So they've already piled up. And I'm like, do you know how to load the dishwasher? But those are things that are like, again, it's not about how, like, what you're saying to someone. It's about how you're saying it. And I think for women, a lot of times for us, it's, do you want me to go down the laundry of list of things that you don't do in here? And most times women just do it. We'll roll our eyes. We'll, say something, or we may say something to you if it's that big of a deal. But most times we just do it.
You guys are the real MVPs. Then. You ready to go to the closing question, babe?
I am.
Let's do it. Is it this one?
Closing question.
What we got?
Closing question. Do you think that you're judgmental?
Yes. Yep. I just said it before. Judgmental. Yeah. I'm not judgmental in the sense that, I judge, like, I don't look at a homeless person and think like you're less than me. Not that type of judgmental. I'm more critical. Like, and I've told you this before. I get it honestly through my mother, man. My mother is critical, like, as hell. Like, even like this house. I bought this house. You love this house, right? 3,500 square foot, 6 bedrooms. The place is a big house. She comes to my house. This is probably the biggest house I've ever owned, or that she's come to visit. And but she was like, yeah, I don't like that house. The house is too the neighbors are too close. I'm like, it's just a suburban neighborhood. I mean, it's like, but yeah, the inside's big, but no, I don't. So it's never like, this is just like, like your mother was just always, oh, I love it. No, whatever you do, it's the greatest thing that ever happened. Not saying that it's not, but and that's how a mother. That's that's great. But no, my mom was very loving, took great care of us, loves us to death. I know it, but she just has that tongue, man. It's like everything is just nah. So
yeah, and you definitely. That is you.
I need to answer. I'm answering this.
But you were so happy. You were so ready to tell them examples of how that is 100% you.
Is it?
And absolutely. And
I did just say it was, but
yeah, I know.
You want to reiterate?
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Absolutely, it's necessary sometimes, but in that still, I don't. It's a way that you even tell somebody that, like, hey, enjoy the good in it. Enjoy what you do see around the judgmental part. Like you said with your mom.
Yeah. She
came in and you're like, say you love the house. Not saying, like, not looking at the neighbors being so close. And so it's just like a view, a point of view to say.
Now, you say that that is me and that is me. However, I'm 80 times better than I ever was.
That's awesome. I agree. You've grown. I can even see it from the time that we've been dating.
Okay.
That you've grown in that
before
area.
we even met. I mean, so, and it's not like I mean any harm by it. And that's the thing. It's like, I don't mean any harm by it. It's just, I don't know. It's like my mind is wired to say what's wrong with the situation. But I realize it, and definitely is something that I've been conscious of and trying to, because I mean, at the end of the day, people don't like it. I mean, how to win friends and influence people. One of the rules is that no one has ever made a statue for, or not a rule, but one of the things is that no one has ever made a statue for a critic. And it's true. Whether you think you're helping, I mean, criticism in general is usually unwelcome. Like you said over the last topic, is that you got to present it correctly. So I'm aware of it. I'm sure it comes out still, but.
Am I judgmental? Nope, I am not.
But I'm not judgmental. Like I judge. Like I think you're a good person. I think you're a bad person. That type of thing.
I'm talking beyond that. I'm talking like people can come to you, tell you different things, and not judgmental in it. Or
me
going
neither.
going to a space and just really like, I just have that. And if you're looking at like the critical side of it and criticizing or, finding, I'm just that person that I magnify the good things in it. I magnify like the things that I love about it versus the things that I dislike about it, or the things that I'm like, oh, I wouldn't necessarily do that. Like, no. So that's just, and that's something that I'm grateful for. I don't know. I guess I probably was always that type of person, always, caring and whatever. But I think that just going back to like friendships, and because sometimes you don't realize you're that for somebody until you keep hearing it or they keep telling you. So just like, clients in general, just saying like, I literally feel like I can talk to you. I've known you forever. And it's only been one time. It's like, because I feel safe to tell you what's going on, that it's like not judgmental. It's not going anywhere. It's safe. And you're going to give me like awesome feedback, but nurture me in it. And so that's the thing that even in my coaching sessions, like I'm going to be honest with you, but I'm going to nurture you in the process, because a part of whatever you're trying to do, if it's moving forward, if it's healing, if it's growing, a part of that is nurturing, being nurtured in that as well.
I think what I mean is, because I'm 100% the same way. Like if someone talks to me, or I look at everything, like even like if I go to a new position, like this always happens. You go to a new position, you go supervise new people. They always tell you ahead of time, hey, watch out for this guy, or watch out for this guy, or this guy does this. None of that is, I'll always go with the clean slate, and everyone gets a fair shot, and I'm not judgmental when it comes to things like that.
Gotcha.
However, like, so say like you ran a race and you want my feedback, it's like I'm gonna tell you probably like your gait is off, or like you were going too slow, or I think you're out of breath, or like, I'm that kind of critical. Like I'm just gonna like, you look goofy with the way you were. But it's like, so it's not like I'm judging you. It's just that I'm very critical, and I'm gonna tell you what I think. Yeah,
but you're the type that you'll tell them what they did wrong in it, even if they won the race. That you're not the person. You're not the person that's gonna say, "Man, you won that race. You number one. You won." You'll be like, "Man, you could have straightened your back up when you was running." And it'll be like, did you just see that I won the race? Or did you just see that I got the position? Not, well, I heard your interview, and I mean, you really didn't cover all the answers. But dude, I got the interview. Like I'm the one that, did it. So I think that's it.
That's good. Yeah. And definitely something that I don't like. But I do think that and it's not I'm all about personal responsibility, so I know it's my fault, but definitely that's if I was a psychologist and I had to like to think in that sense, then I would have to say that probably the way that I was raised and my mom's influence has something to do with
It probably
with that,
does. I'm
for
sure it does.
You know, it had to have affected, because the way you said that sounded like my mom. You know, so I'm like, yeah, well, maybe I got that from her.
Yeah.
So,
And I think that it's just like, I think that's a part of the, like you said, some things we got from our parents, some things we got like from just being around people for a long time, and it's a learned behavior. But we have to do the work to like change the narrative in it. So changing like,
well, I feel like I'm Will Smith at the red table.
what he did it.
I don't know, just like you holding class right now.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm just talking about in general, like not specifically to you saying you have to do work, but I'm just saying because I think everybody can identify with that. Like I can identify with things that we've learned, and I think we all do it. We all like, oh my God, I'm turning to my mom and my daddy, like, you know, doing different things that you saw them doing or saying different things that,
I mean, you definitely are your mom. So, I mean, sometimes.
So as you see things or you do things, so it's like, but some things, if you felt like, you know, it wasn't beneficial or you want to do things different and then you say, hey, I have to like unlearn some things. Absolutely. And that's a part of if you ever had a life coach, or if in my sessions, that's what we talk about, unlearning to learn new things, like looking at the limiting beliefs that you encountered or you had growing up and how it's shaped you and all of that good stuff. So the work continues. Let's go into the final.
You know what time it is.
It's
time for hypothetical questions with Jesse and Shaquetta.
We got two because I'm hungry.
You hungry? Is a DoorDash even dropped off yet?
I don't know, but
I didn't hear the doorbell
my
ring.
salmon is ready.
I got some Wendy's coming. I'm about to tear this
he
up.
got Wendy's. I got salmon. I did get a baked potato from them though.
It's gonna be good, y'all. All right, so not so much hypothetical, but these would be good things to talk about. So I'm gonna go not something too heavy, because I think this episode was kind of heavy. Tyson versus Logan Paul, who wins? Da-dum-dum. Mike Tyson versus Logan Paul. This is a fight that is expected to take place.
I know.
Probably gonna be one of the biggest spectacles in fight history.
Mike Tyson.
Why did it take you so long to say that?
Because you were still talking. I was just tired of you like going on, which I knew you were giving a good like building it up. But Mike Tyson for me from the jump.
100%, man. Mike,
that's who you going with too?
Hell yes. Hell yes. Are you kidding me? Have you seen like Mike's recent like Instagram videos? Like the man
I don't know
is
if I saw it on
beast.
his Instagram, but I have seen like some clips or something, like short clips or something.
It's
gotta look at it.
This is gonna humble Logan Paul. But I'm not that I'm mad at Logan. I mean, do your
I
thing,
ain't
bro.
mad
I mean,
either.
you making your money, bro.
But it's Mike Tyson
This
for
is
me.
Tyson though. But you know what? It's just so crazy that Logan Paul has made it to a level where he can fight one of the best, arguably the best boxer, that ever lived. Man. So the fact that you're even like, you can die and be like, I don't care. I box Mike Tyson.
Yeah. That's a
people like what rap song was that? Somebody made a song like, I got into a fight with Mike Tyson or something. I don't know. Mike Tyson is an icon. He's an icon.
Is. Yeah, I'm on Mike. I'm putting my money on Mike.
100%. But you know what? I might just put like a little bit on Logan Paul.
Just in case.
Because the odds are going to be so
I agree.
It's going to be a big payday if you won. All right, here we go. What weird food combination do you enjoy?
The first thing that came to mind, I haven't had this in a long time, but I get it from my granddaddy. Mashed potatoes and macaroni and cheese together, like mixing it together.
Really?
Yeah. But it was like,
I mean, that don't sound bad. Like, I mean, at the Thanksgiving table, all that stuff gets mixed together anyways.
Yeah, but this is like, I don't know if you remember Shoney's. Was it Shoney's? Or Ryan's. I can't remember which one it was. But like when we would go there, like that would be the thing, like on our plate, we're mixing it together, and it was so good. That would probably be mine.
That sounds like I would be 500 pounds eating.
It was so good.
Nothing but carbs and fat.
Yep. That, and then another one. ice cream, like vanilla ice cream, and plain potato chips.
Like crunch over it? Really?
So good. We might have to go to Publix.
I ain't never seen you do that.
I haven't done it in a while.
I mean, but that's not really, honestly, that's not even that crazy either, because it's like
that's
dipping.
sweet and salty.
Yeah, it's like dipping fries in your
it's
milkshake.
so good.
I mean, I could see, like, to me, what would get nasty if the potato chips got soggy, then that would be disgusting.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, you got, like, you have
crunchy.
to do it, like,
yeah. I can see how that could be good.
We used to do that all the time.
I never did it. I probably won't do it, because it don't sound that good, but I can see
Yeah,
how
it
might taste.
Live a little. Live on the wild side.
For me, you know, I'm half Korean, so I probably got some weird shit compared to that. But actually, one thing that I'm thinking of is rice.
I got one thing for you.
Go ahead, what?
No.
Oh,
What's the little?
that you think that I eat?
Yes.
That's delicious. It's I forgot what it's called.
They're like
I don't
fish skin.
I don't know the Korean name. No, it's not fish skin. It's dried cuttlefish. It's what it's cuttlefish, but it's dried, and it's like it's like almost zero fat, all protein, but it's just so good. And you put it on the stove and like crisp the outside edges, and just
that thing so stink. Like when
it just smells like fish.
When he opened the bag, it smells like raw fish. That, you know how when people say like growing up, they're like, that girl smells like fish or something.
Yeah, it smells like somebody dirty cooch.
Woo, that thing is hard, and it may be good.
It's delicious.
I'm not like. There's some things that you have, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll try it, whatever. But that, the smell alone, like I can smell him. I can smell you bringing it into my presence. Like, you know,
that's because I cook it, so that's, the aromatics are like on 100,
1,000.
But
you say it's good though.
But yeah, like
the
that,
like
it dried squid. But
that's
no,
good.
what I was gonna say was that weird thing that I eat, that ain't weird. That's just fish jerky. It's delicious. But is rice, water, and cheese. So you take like cooked rice, put it in a bowl.
I know you had. I remember you doing the rice water.
Turn on the faucet and just fill it with water, like it's a soup, but it's just rice and water. And then you just eat cheese with it, or you can like have like cooked hot dogs with it, or Spam with it. But rice, water, cheese, or Spam, or something like that.
So you said the rice is like you just like.
So when you're eating it, it's like you're eating a spoonful of soup with like piece of cheese on top of it. It's like rice, water. It's just, I don't know. It's just good.
Like steamed, right? Like you like white rice, steamed white rice, water, and cheese,
and a slice of cheese.
Okay.
You just take like a little. You cut a little corn off the cheese
and dip it on and
eat it with the rice and the water.
Okay.
Man, I grew up. That's like comfort food to me, man. Like I could. It's just that. Looking back now, it has like no nutritional quality to it
but it's
at
like,
all.
It was good.
But it's just good.
Okay.
It's just good. I think that's it. I think we can call it a day after that, babe. After you done made fun of my culture, you know, making fun of my.
What about the fish?
My fish. Talking about it smelled like dirty cooch.
I didn't know.
That is exactly what you said.
Whatever.
That is what came out your mouth.
You didn't talk about my macaroni and.
That's a weight gainer right there. You want to gain weight? We
I
out,
need
y'all.
to pick that back up.
We out. That was another episode. Thanks for kicking it with us. Make sure to follow us on IG at Computer Love Podcast. Like, subscribe, comment, y'all. We out.
Out.
Talking about my fish.